everyone, welcome to Pro Teacher Academy. I would like to welcome you to Level Up Your Vocabulary series, and today we will see how we can unlock the power of words. What if I told you there's a secret vocabulary out there? I'm not talking about just everyday words, but power words. Words that give you a more precise, a more potent way to describe the world, your own thoughts, and pretty much everything in between. So let's unlock them. The right word doesn't just describe reality, it sharpens it. And that is the power of the words we are going to explore today. Alright, so we are going to start with our most direct connection to the world around us, our senses. These are the words that really ground us in physical reality. The words that help us touch, see, and hear everything with just a little more precision. Tangible. Think about it, the solid weight of a book in your hands, or even the phone you're probably holding right now. What's the word for something that's real, something you can physically feel? That quality is being tangible. It's the word that separates an idea from, well, a thing. See, an idea is just a thought, but the moment you write it down, it becomes a tangible report, something real you can actually hold and share. Okay, now imagine you are trying to read someone's handwriting. You know how something is just a total mess, right? But when it's super clear and easy to understand, there's a perfect word for that. That handwriting is legible. The word captures the huge difference between just scribbling something down and actually communicating. Legible notes. They're just ink on the page. But legible notes? That's clear bridge from one mind to another. What about sound? Let's say someone is whispering from way across a big room. If you can just barely make out what they're saying, what's the word for that specific moment? The whisper becomes audible. This word makes the exact line between silence and sound. It's the critical point where a signal can finally be heard. And last but not the least, our sense of sight. You know, when the morning fog finally starts to lift and that mountain in the distance appears out of nowhere. How would you describe that? The mountain is now visible. It's such a great word because it describes a really powerful transition, that exact moment something hidden is revealed, moving from unseen right into the plain sight. Okay, so we have covered the physical world. Now let's move into the realm of ideas, of thoughts, of judgments. These are the power words of your mind. Let's say a friend tells you a story. As you're listening, you're kind of weighing it in your head, right? You're thinking, does this sound true? Is it plausible? What are you actually checking for? You're checking to see if the story is credible. A credible source is one of you feel you can believe or you can trust. And honestly, in a world that is just flooded with information, knowing how to spot what's credible is a basic survival skill. So the word for believing in something that is believable and that is trustable is called credible. Now let's talk about reliability. This next one sounds similar, but there's a really key difference. This isn't about a single story. It's about performance over time. Think about a car that always starts or a friend who is always on time. That quality is reliability. It's all about consistency. So, here's the key difference. A single news story might be credible, but a news organization that consistently gets things right, that is reliable. It's a subtle difference, but a really crucial one. When the language is clear, the logic flows, and you finally have that aha moment. The explanation became comprehensible. The information was laid into a way your mind could finally grab into. And that is the goal of all great teaching and communication, right? Now let's talk about something expressible. Sometimes we have a feeling or an idea that's just fuzzy. It's hard to put into words, but when we finally figure it out, when we can actually say it, the thought is now expressible. You have managed to translate a feeling into a form that can be shared with someone else. And that's a powerful thing to do, to make your internal world external and connect your mind with another. Alright, we have covered our senses, we have covered our minds. Now let's zoom out to the wider world, to systems, concepts, and just how things work in general. And fair warning, we are going to pick up the pace a bit here. Ready? An athlete's boy, a work's casual that can change, a piece of rubber. What do all of these have in common? They all are flexible. They can bend and adapt without breaking. The next one. Think of a sturdy pair of hiking boots, a well-built bridge, or a classic idea that just never gets old. The word is durable. It's for anything that can resist wear and tear and pressure. What about a website that's super clear? Or a building with ramps for wheelchairs? Or a public park that's open to everybody? All of those things are accessible. It just means the barrier had been removed, making them open and available for everyone to use. It's accessible. And finally, when an argument just flows, when one point leads perfectly to the next and all the puzzle pieces just fit, the argument is logical. It follows a path of pure reason and sound judgment. This is basically the foundation of all clear thinking. Okay, let's slow it down for a second. We just covered a lot of ground, but this is more than just a vocabulary lesson. There's a much deeper why mastering the right word actually matters. It's because these words, they aren't just collections of letters, they are more than just sounds we use to get through the day. They are tools. Yeah. Every single one is a specialized instrument in your mental toolkit. Think about it. You wouldn't use a hammer to turn a screw. So, why would you use a vague word when a precise word is right there waiting for you? When you choose the right tool, the right word, something pretty amazing happens. Your thoughts get sharper. So now you have a more powerful toolkit. The challenge, of course, is to start using it, to listen for these words, to practice them, and to see how they start to change your world. So, the only question I have left for you is, what powerful words will you master next? Follow for more such interesting videos. This series has a lot more to share. See you in the next video.